So, hello, guys. I wanted to raise awareness on this other project that I've known about for a couple of years ago. They're actually creating this thing called the Venus Project. I get updates in my email box about this because I found it very fascinating that they're creating this new lifestyle basically in Florida, in Venus, Florida. And I suspect some things with all of this, Venus, because as some of us in the occult world know, Venus is actually tied to love, but it's also tied to what you would call the light elves. And also, this Pleiadian idea of Pleiadians, which is light elves, which is tied to Venus. I've heard different stories in the past, as I'm sure some of you out there in my world know about, in the UFO community, about the valiant Thor story of the man who was supposedly from Venus. Now, whether he truly was from Venus, I mean, that's left to be determined, I guess, but he was supposedly Pleiadian in nature, I guess, because I think he had blonde hair or brown hair or something like that, and supposedly spent a few years at the Pentagon. So there was a story called The Stranger at the Pentagon. Now, whether this is just another, part of the deception kind of story or not, I don't know. But this Venus project is kind of interesting because Venus, as other occultists will know, is Lucifer. It is the star of the morning. It is the first star to rise in the east on the morning of any day, and it illuminates the morning. It's the morning star. So, when I came across this whole Venus project, I was like, what is that? Well, look at this. Have a look at this. This is actually quite amazing. And if this is the future of our world, they're bringing back Atlantis, basically, and the idea and concept of Atlantis. So we're just going to watch some of this without their volumes on. Let's just go ahead and play their little thing here. This is the Venus Project, and it offers a new socioeconomic system. Now, whether this is going to be artificial intelligence based, I don't know, but they have this proposed idea of creating this utopian society where everything is in balance with nature, which no one can really disagree with. It's really what we need right now, is to stop consuming all of the resources, the natural resources, and stop paving nature in order to put up parking lots and buildings. So, we'll see what this age of Aquarius has to offer, but this is basically it. So they want to, answer a lot of the problems that we're having, and the housing, transportation, energy, and food, of course, as part of the problems. And this is actually going by pretty fast. But so these are some of their proposed ideas, their proposed plans for creating this Venus project. And it's all based on having a centralized society and creating their own sustainability, which, again, no one can disagree with that. But there was a lot of things about the George Guidestones that we couldn't disagree with either. And let me see if I can maybe get the volume off of this. There we go. I don't want to play anybody's sound for their things, but this is, it's something for you guys to consider and look into for the future. It's very futuristic. Honestly, everything's white and clean. And of course, this is all just based on, concept designs. Seems like a good idea, of course, but is it? Is it going to actually come to fruition like this? I would love to see less concrete and things of that nature. and really less metal and glass and stuff like that. But we're going to have something for the future. The idea of using round instead of square is obviously, in the energetic field of things, it's going to be more beneficial for our bodies instead of having the Saturnian cubes in our lives. So, I'm open to looking at the future, and being curious about, is this going to be beneficial? I mean, look, it's an entire circle design, which of course means unity, which means continuity. It's the circle of protection. This does have some broken points on it, but this kind of energy is much more in balance than the cube, Saturnian cube. But I just wanted to show you guys this so that you can see what the age of Aquarius is bringing in right now, and to not fear anything that is Luciferian, because what they've done is they've tried to subvert this whole idea of Luciferianism or whatever, into being synonymous with the devil and Satan, which it is not. Lucifer is the star of the morning. And so it's associated with Venus, which is associated with love, and is exactly where we need to go right now, because we have been down in our lower chakras, and it's time to come up to the Christ consciousness, which is the love and awareness of all things and each other, and how we fit in this entire spectrum of our cosmos. So I'm going to leave these links in the description box, and you can go check these out. Go check out the Venus Project, and perhaps there's other projects going on around the world that are similar. I think it would be fascinating to see all of this come about and actually be a positive change for our world, instead of what we do with paving, all of nature. Yeah, we do need to live better in better communities and sustainabilities and things. And it's coming. We just got a little ways to go. All right. Well, you guys have a good evening. I'll see you later.